Hello and welcome to GSPlus. It's your go-to podcast for all things Team GS and Call of Duty related. I'm Ando and co-hosting with me is Cooley. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it,
Cooley.
bro.
Yeah, how you doing? You good?
Not too bad, bro. Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Finally in from work and we're just all good. Just gonna have a little chat about Call of Duty. How do you think about
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds really good.
that?
Have you been playing any much lately?
On and off, not so much now the weather's getting better, but
Yeah.
yeah, just trying to grind rank like everyone else, I suppose.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I've been playing here and there. I broke control in a minute, so I'm just watching scrims and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been playing the last couple of days, but been watching a lot of gaming content and scrims and stuff. So yeah, it's been interesting to watch and just take a little step back and have a little break from playing Call of Duty. In fact, it's kind of nice to be honest. But yeah, there's
yeah,
been a new update. I don't know if you've seen. Been a new
I haven't
update.
seen it. Run through it with me. Let's go.
So they've done a lot of nerfs to some guns, especially in like Warzone. Like Warzone's very meta heavy when it comes to a lot of weapons anyway. They've nerfed a lot of like big guns in that. So the HMR9 got a nerf. I think the SOA got a huge nerf. They, in fact, they
It's
yeah, they
gonna make it
buffed
tough,
them.
mate. There's
Yeah,
there's not many there's not many viable guns, and to nerf the HRM and the SOA
yeah.
is a big call.
Well, when I was playing Research and stuff, that was what I was them running them two guns, and I feel like everyone else on the map was running them two guns as well. So
Yeah,
it's a change.
you had like the RAM slightly,
Yeah, that was
but
actually a good gun, to be fair. Very good gun.
it was majority the SOA and the HRM, wasn't it?
Yeah, so now everyone's running the. I played a little bit today, and everyone's running the Striker 9. That's now like the no meta SMG,
Okay.
which is beaming, if I'm being honest with you, long range, close range, it's just deleting people. The AR everyone's running is the SVA on the burst. And that
They're
is
still going. They
broken.
really changed too much about it,
I
have they?
feel like it's
Since
been buffed, bro. It feels like it's been buffed. I don't think in the patch notes it said anything about a buff, but it just feels a lot more powerful. But then maybe it feels like that because of the nerfs. So now it just feels superior to the other guns. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think it's a matter of time though. I think there's some new guns that they've brought out in there.
Yeah, I don't actually know what guns they've brought out. I think there's a
I
new
know one,
AR.
and I'm excited for it.
What's
It's the
that?
Bow 27.
I think that's the one they actually brought in. I think that's the AR, I think, if I'm
Yeah, that's
correct.
the AR. It was brought to. It was big in the advanced warfare when you had like
Oh,
because you had
okay.
variants, and one of the variants was the Obsidian Steed.
Oh, dope.
It was very, very good, to
But
say the
yeah,
least.
that's so that's a new AR. I think content wise with like Call of Duty, they're trying. It's got better since the beginning of MW3. MW2 content wise, it was a bit dry. Was really much going on, and also the game was kind of ass anyway. But with MW3, I think they're trying more to add guns in, make changes to the game. But with these changes, they're just breaking certain things at the same time. Like I think everyone's got like high latency and the game's laggy and the servers
I,
aren't great. It's just yeah, but
they,
they're trying
they,
on the
they
other
bring
side.
out updates. It's just the one thing that winds me up about Call of Duty. Being a multi-million pound company, you'd think it's more of an indie project. Like the amount of money they've got, they should get things right, and
Yeah,
they just don't. And
yeah,
you see the numbers drop, which is quite devastating. But like they just think, oh yeah, we'll just do another patch and everything will be fine. The one thing that doesn't actually stop is the store that makes them all the money. Um, so like sod's law, really. I guess you can look at it from two ways. I guess.
yeah. It's a weird one. I don't know, like because the state of the game right now is I don't know if it's in a good place. just because of there's a lot of hackers in Call of Duty right now. Like there's so many to the point where it's like you don't know if he's hacking or just really good. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
no, I
very.
think that's part of the I don't know, like I don't really come into them much. Like
I don't either. But I'm assuming
being,
in the
being
higher ranks,
fun.
iridescents, that you're gonna come across quite a few, and I've heard that when you start getting to the Crim 3, Crim 2, that's when you start coming across a lot of hackers and obvious hacking as well. Walls, aimbot, all that mad shit, bro. So yeah.
It's a tough one. I do think they should have done something with the anti cheat that's better. Like you can always get better. I mean, you're
Yeah,
looking at comparable games. Apex
yeah.
has an anti cheat. It is insane.
Is it a good
Like
anti-cheat or does it actually work?
you get the cheaters, but they're stopped like
Yeah, yeah.
straight. Like I didn't really play it too much
Mm,
because it's more of a team vibe. You can't really solo run it,
yeah.
but I never like I've watched streams on it, and there are people that just get deleted out of the game. They're gone.
Okay.
I do think the one thing that Call of Duty done wrong is they gave Warzone to everyone for free, which
That's why the
then made
game's a
people,
mess.
yeah, people can then make as many counts as they want. They can cheat and just restart. It takes 2 seconds to get back up to level 55 if you're any good. Like, and then once you're level 55, you can go into ranked and you can just go and play against bronze players again. Like,
So many
it,
Smurf accounts in ranked, bro. It's unreal.
whereas one way to stop cheaters is if they have to pay 60, £70 every time they have to make an account.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to do that.
I
Like,
actually come across a video today. It was on TikTok, in fact, and it was like one streamer and he was talking to a cheater. And basically he was saying this cheater was on PC, obviously. It was not obvious, but it was on PC. And he was saying that basically he creates a new account, he goes on this website where he buys a phone address, so a mobile number for like 5 cents. He was American, so he bought it for 5 cents, and then an email it literally takes 2 seconds to create. So basically, all you need is a mobile number, an email, and then he creates a new account. That's what he just kept doing. And he said
yeah,
he had loads of them, and I was just like, that's mad.
and it just doesn't bother people. And like I've watched big streams before, and they ask the question like, why do you do it? And it's like you get people like, why not? You get people that say, oh, everyone else does it, so I'm just joining them, or it's fun. Like
It's
it's gone
fun.
are the
I
days
don't see
where
how that's fun, man. How would you like? How is it fun when you know where everyone is on the map and you don't miss a shot because you've got aimbot? Like, how's that fun?
but
That's
that's what I mean.
crazy.
Like don't get me wrong. Like it'd probably be fun for like a couple of games, maybe.
Yeah,
Like
potentially.
where you can be like, oh yeah, look at this. Like I've just racked up. But the thing is, the people that hack, they're not even good. Like
Yeah, that
genuine.
is. Yeah,
Like,
a lot of them aren't.
like
Most of them aren't actually good, and they're actually awful at Call of Duty, which is why they probably do hack and they have these cheats and all that stuff. So
and
it's just
yeah, that's what I mean. It's they're genuinely very bad at the game, and when you see their movement, they're running into walls and this it's like laughable sometimes. Like
yeah,
they're looking at the floor, picking up loot and stuff. Like it's just bad.
it is, man. I think
Like
that step or something that needs to be. I don't know. I don't know how they'll go about like even fixing. I feel like that's just something you'll never be able to eradicate completely from a game. You know what I mean? Just because it's so accessible to get. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously something they can improve on, but
yeah, improvement wise, they need. I think there's 3 or 4 things they need to sort out. One's the anti cheat, right? The
yeah,
anti cheat needs to be like to a level, proper level. Then the second thing they need to sort out is the balancing of guns. Like
yeah,
they had, I remember Warzone One. I played it non-stop through COVID, and I tell you what was good, right? Is the AK-47 was a very good gun,
I remember that.
What?
That's actually
But
ground loot still in Rebirth sometimes.
yeah, the AK-47 was a very good gun, but what it had was a harsh recoil pattern. And by having a harsh recoil pattern, it meant that the people that actually learned how to control the recoil benefited.
Yeah,
Whereas you didn't have to use that gun. You could have used a kilo, which had minimal recoil and easy to control, or an M13, and those
them guns
guns that,
deleted as well. They were
yeah.
ridiculous.
But if you watched the first person I saw use the AK-47 to a proper level was a guy called Yusuf. I don't know if he still streams now, because for various reasons, but he could control the recoil on an AK-47, so it didn't look like there was recoil.
Mm.
Now you can say that was Cronus or this, that, and the other. The guy done all of this hand cam and all this, that, and the other to show he weren't cheating. But
Yeah,
like all in all, he controlled the recoil really well, and it actually beamed, so it was beneficial. Whereas nowadays, you don't have people running different guns. You have everyone running the same gun all the
yeah.
time, every single time. Like when the first multiplayer come out, everyone used the Holger. It was not even a
It was
question
so
of what gun
broken.
you
It
could
killed you
shoot.
in 3 bullets. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and then the Holger was nerfed because it was everyone complained about it, and then they brought in the next gun, like the MCW now on ranked. It's not the strongest gun. It's quite easy to control
I
recoil.
feel like it's balanced now, but yeah, but that is the thing about all these guns. Now, they're very easy to use. Like there's not a hard gun anymore to use. I feel like with MW2, the TAC 56 was you could either use it or you couldn't because of the recoil on
Oh,
it.
I actually had. So I got to Diamond 3. I could have got to Crimson. I stopped playing it when the Warzone came out
Yeah,
on the big map. But what I found was the TAC. I made a TAC 56 with folding stock and had it running like a flex. So I could play against subbies with it, and I could beam across the map with it.
mm.
But that took me best part of a week to get used to the recoil pattern on it, because it was obviously a lot harsher than the way everyone else built theirs.
Yeah.
But it was beneficial to me because I could do the best. I could have the best of both worlds. But a lot of people don't think like that now. A lot of people just go, "All right, okay, well, I can just sit in one area and just beam someone, and they've got no chance."
Just the guns of my recoil. That's what it is. The guns literally. I feel like they're doing a good job about balancing weapons like multiplayer wise. I mean, the MCW is now like 5 shots to kill. That includes a headshot as well. Like headshots, not there's no multiplayer now on a headshot. The rival seems like it doesn't really do much damage anymore either. Seems like it's balanced, but then that's like I think that I don't know if the health in multiplayer is too high. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it takes too long to kill. Like it's not realistic enough. I feel like 4 bullets was enough to kill someone. Now 5, 6, and after a certain range, it could be even pushed to like a 7, 8. It's weird. It's very weird. It's
I agree. I think it's definitely changed the way that people play multiplayer now.
yeah.
Um, whereas they had a really good recipe for the older games, like, and I don't understand why they changed that. They could have easily, like, I know they've got different developers, and you've got Activision,
Yeah.
Treyarch, and all this, that, and the other. But the one thing they should have said, it's their game, is they should have said these are non-negotiables, like, because that's ultimately what made Call of Duty fun.
Yeah, I feel like as well, like the spawns made sense then as well. Like they make sense, but they don't at the same time. Especially on certain maps, like they don't like I don't know. Sometimes when I'm watching scrims and I see like how is he spawned there or why is he spawned there, it's really weird. Like there's a couple of times, obviously, invasion hardpoints now is out of competitive, so it's not there anymore. But you'd spawn back palace, and then you'd run out of palace, and then the enemy would spawn behind you. Like that makes zero sense. So why that would
Yeah,
happen?
and I think that's one thing they break almost every time they make adaptations in the game, is the spawns, and
I feel like
then
the spawns in this
everyone
like
moans
Call of
about
Duty in
it.
general have just been awful. They're not great. Like they're becoming readable now because obviously with repetitions of playing the game and playing the game so much, it's becoming more readable. But they don't make sense. Like sometimes they still don't make sense. Like how you spawn there when there's someone. It's just weird. I think even on like Rio, when you I think it's P3 bottom skis P3. If you're on the left hand side of the hill, so near the black car, near the bin, they still spawn on the right hand side of P4. It's weird. Like, why would they spawn there? Like, it's just little things like that. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes the game doesn't make sense, like, to why they spawn there. It's just little weird spawns. But they've changed the spawns also on 6 star as well, from what I know. I haven't played 6 star yet, actually, since the update. But I know they've changed spawns on that as well. They've added in new
Hmm.
spawn points on certain hills. I'm not really
See, I
too
think that's
sure.
one thing they didn't have to do that. Like, Six Star was actually quite a well-rounded map,
I
like
think it
quite a
worked
good.
well. The spawns made sense. The hills made sense. The only annoying hill on that was possibly the pool, but it was breakable. Like you could break it. You could break pool.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I don't understand why they interrupt game. Like it's almost like they go, haha, you're having too much fun on this, so we're gonna ruin it. Like it
Yeah.
genuinely feels like that sometimes.
And
Like,
now they've got a new P5, and P5 is in. You know where the statue is, and there's a top office.
yeah.
Then P5 is literally in the top office. Now that's a money hill. So really and truly, if you're playing the game correctly, you shouldn't. That should be unbreakable, which is kind of silly. I get it, but like that can literally win and lose you maps. And I think
Oh yeah.
they've changed some other hills as well. I think P3's changed. So where it was, the wooden steps where the little waterfall thing is by the pool,
Yeah.
it's no longer there. I think it's inside now, near behind the DJ booth. If that makes sense.
It's just something I just don't understand.
I thought that map was
Why
fine,
that
personally.
map was fine. Like if you're gonna sort something, you sort out sub base. That's the one map,
Subway
right, that
stinks.
could be so good, but there's just so many inconsistencies. Like I was playing it on a scrim that I was doing the other day, and I weren't really beaming, so I was like, right, I'm going to play point and I'm going to get spawns. So at 25 seconds, I'd leave, and I left P3 to get P4, run right to the back corner of the map,
And they
took
still
out two
spawn beside
people,
you as well.
and they still spawned beside me and then shot me, and I was
Yeah.
like, ow! Like there's just no
There's actually a
way.
there's a you can sit on that back green fence and look down that lane, and they can still spawn literally left to the left hand side of you near the corner of the submarine. It's actually insane. I've literally spawned there many times and I've seen him on the head, and I'm like, I've just beamed him off. Like that makes zero sense. How are you like that far at the back of the map and I've still spawned beside you? Like it makes zero sense. It's insane. Like
And
so
that's what I mean. Like I don't understand where they get there.
I don't understand how it's a spawn point. Like it makes zero sense. There's also another spawn on flipping subbase that is so annoying. Like you'll spawn in maze, you'll run out of maze, literally like going towards P1, maybe going towards tunnel, and there's someone else that will spawn beside you and mate, like behind you, mate. It's ridiculous. Like it's readable because it's happened to me so many times I've died from it that I know
Yeah,
if I spawn in maze, if I just sit in P1, I'll probably catch enemy run out of maze literally like 30 seconds after, like 10 seconds after me, and I'll just kill him depending on who's died on the kill feed and whatnot. It's readable, but that shouldn't be a spawn. like it makes zero sense for it to be a spawn.
no, exactly.
It's just
I just,
it's bad. I don't know. The spawns in this game, they do stink multiplayer wise. That they're just bad. They're bad. And I also do think as well, like some of the maps, obviously they're old maps. They've obviously been like updated and stuff, but some of the maps are built for these game modes, which is why I think they brought in new maps like Rio, 6 Star, Vista, because they're more suited to the game modes.
and I don't know. I think what they've done is tried making it a little bit more run and gunny, and it works in some ways and doesn't work in others. Like ranked is strategic. It shouldn't be run and gun.
Yeah.
Day. Like, and that's the thing. Like, it's backwards in a sense. Like, I just don't see how you can have CDL players running around and showing how to play the game, like from a strategy point of view, but then when we play it on ranked, it's completely backwards.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's mad still. It is actually mad. It is mad. It's just kind of crazy still.
Like, I do think there should be an element of being able to spawn trap, because that's a skill in itself. If your team pushes up and holds all angles, you should benefit from that, in my opinion. Like the one thing, like the ranked for last season was spot on in almost every.
It made sense.
Like you could play, what one was it? Bagra, was it Al Bagra?
Oh, the Fortress, yeah. That was a good map.
Yeah, Fortress, that's the one. And if you pushed up to 2/3 across the map, they couldn't get out, and they would have had to beam you off of a heady or off of something.
Was that the control? They got rid of that, didn't they? They got rid of that in the end. That was disgusting.
They got rid of it, trap, because everyone complained about it. But it was
bad though.
The people that complained about it were actually people that weren't, and I hate to say it, weren't really blessed at the game.
Nah, I'd seen like competitive like CDR where they just got stuck in there. Like literally, they just got stuck in there. It was bad. Like it was really bad. Like it was like teams literally were just no point moving. There was one map I seen where I don't even know who it was, but they literally didn't move because there was no point. Like they just sat there because there was literally for the whole round they just sat there. So there was no point. Once they got trapped in, it was GG. So they just literally sat there.
But they had you did have ways of getting out. Like it was purely down to how good you are at being a gunny.
Yeah, I reckon ranked play, yeah, but in a competitive game, nah, it was GG's. Once you're stuck in there, it was GG's. You couldn't do anything.
Oh yeah, and the only person that really got out of it was Shotzi, and that was because he's just different.
Yeah, it's a mixing map. It was good though. It was a good hardpoint game. Hardpoint map anyway.
I think that there was nothing wrong with any of the maps on ranked, and I don't think people would have been too annoyed if those maps would have stayed. They could have added 2 or 3 to it, and then it would have been fine. But I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, nah, it was a. I think MW2 had better maps than MW3. I think. Personally.
Oh yeah, like. I mean, my favourite game was Modern Warfare 3 Original, when you had the ACR. Like, if you want to bring new guns and make new guns, then that's great. I was like, but like, you've got guns that you can bring into it. Like, there's certain guns that should be synonymous with multiplayer, like MP5. Why have we not got an MP5? Like,
that's so true.
M4 is a proper.
It's a staple piece gun, isn't it? Like,
yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's a staple piece. Like those guns have been in almost every single game. Like, why are they not in the game? Like, and you're calling them different words. Like last season, you had the Lackman sub, but it was an MP5. Everyone called it MP5. It was an MP5 straight off the bat.
Yeah. Literally MP5.
But it comes down to licensing and all this, that, and the other, and it becomes really political without the need to become political, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Speaking of like multiplayer and stuff, obviously GS have got a Div 8 team that are now in the grand finals, actually.
Yeah, they've done well in their first season. I mean, they've got 4 players that know how to play the game, know how to strategize. They all complement each other. You got Trembulla that just sort of shreds anyone. love him to pieces, but I don't like scrimming against him. Can't be honest.
Horrible to play against him. To be
It's
fair,
horrible.
any of that Div 8 team is horrible to play against. Sham, Demon, but absolutely ridiculous, and George just beams as well.
Yeah,
It's just bad. It's really
they
bad.
they've got full complement, and it wouldn't surprise me if they go up to Div 7 and carry it on because
Yeah, will definitely be able to compete in Div 7 and maybe even win because they're slamming everyone in Div 8. So
so it'd be interesting to see. I do think everyone should tune in and watch that because the comms that you get off it and the info that you learn off those players and the better players is just so massive. Like
yeah, 100%.
scrimming against them and sort of helping them like train and stuff has taught me so much about multiplayer ranked that when I do go onto multiplayer ranked, it's very, very easy.
Easy. I
Yeah,
used to obviously I used to scrim with the Div 8 team, and like I'd watch their scrims as well. So I play an odd game here and there, like when it comes scrim wise. But when I was watching and when I would scrim with them, like even if it was like a game or just like a game or two, like just what I would learn in like that 10 minutes of a game or 7 minutes of a game or whatever was insane. So when I did like now like when I'm scrimming against Div 10 or Div 9, or I'm playing against a Crimson that's snuck into my lobby or something in ranked or a diamond, like it's just so easy. Like it's insane.
and that's what I mean. Like I was solo queuing a lot because the few people that I played with are usually in forwards and playing with their friends and stuff.
Yeah.
The people that I've played with, like my mates and stuff, they're playing new games and stuff because they're getting bored of it, of playing Call of Duty over and over again, which some people do, but like I got to admit, I don't find it boring to play at all. And I've been solo queuing quite a bit, which is fine in some respects, but I always used to find it quite hard. Whereas now, like especially Invasion, it weren't a good map for me. Scrimming with the Div 8 team, knowing how to push up, how to hold them in their spawn, and being able to move around and actually sort of just pick them off, especially on control. Like you can get up to the tank on the corner, and you've got a really good spot there to take people out and stop them getting anywhere near your team. Like it's amazing, like the stuff that you learn, and that's why I was saying like you really should tune in to the Div 8 team. They are insane.
Literally very, very good team, very good players.
But then what I would say is we've got quite a diverse group in Team GS, and I think Lelos has done quite well, putting all the pieces to a puzzle.
Yes.
We've now got enough players to be able to put a Div 10 team in, and they're going to be competitive just as well. Like you've got Navy's the manager, and then on top of that you've got Dovit as the team captain, who did he did carry out scrims with Div 8. So
he played a few games in Div 8. In fact, we are being moved into Div 9 because of Dovit being playing games in Div 8, and then also Teb's also playing games in Div 8. That now we're probably having to move into Div 9.
But that's credit as well. Like realistically, are they going to struggle? I don't think they are. Like the one scrim that we had the other day, I can't remember the person's name, Killer Girl or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And she's Crimson. She normally scrims Div 8s and plays with Div 8s and stuff like that. And the first two games we beat them. So Div 10's looking like we should be doing very well.
Yeah, it should be all right, man. It should be all right. Well, that'll be like for the next season. So I think team selection now is done for that. I think now the next step is just to scrim, build, strategize, and just get the ball rolling on that. But that'll be interesting as well. The experience, I guess, new team, new players, and whatnot. But it's looking good, man. It's looking good.
Yeah, it's just learning each other's good points, bad points, what they need help with, and trying to get like an all-round team. And once you've got that team ethos, like the last sort of scrims I joined in with were Very, very good in terms of comms.
Yeah.
Gunny's never been the problem. It was always more just comms
Comms in
and
it.
how to.
Yeah. I do try and emphasize that a lot when we do scrim. And like I'm in Castro or something, like I will say like comms, like everything you need to comm it. If you throw a nade and you've got a hit marker on it, comm that. I've just hit a nade in chicken. There's gonna be someone in chicken. So yeah, you know what I mean? If there's one in chicken and you're playing S&D, there's probably going to be another one chicken, and because they're probably going to do a B push on the bomb, and then you know what I mean. From that, you can build some more info. Well, there's probably be one top AC, probably then maybe one pushing through red, so you can just build a picture in your head of like just where everyone is. That's why I always like try and emphasize to the team about comms, and so yeah, comms are definitely important and they're definitely needed. But yeah, I feel like it's obviously with team chemistry and just playing more of each other, I feel like that will just happen over time. So yeah, it's time to grind. I think in Div for the Div 9 slash Div 10 team. I thought like yeah, it'd be good, man, be good. But
I'm
what's it?
definitely looking forward to see what they can bring to the table
Yeah,
in terms of like bringing home Div 9. I do think they've got quite a strong team there to be able to push,
it's a good team.
and it's only going to be really maybe one or two teams in there that could challenge them, but that'll all come down to who's gunning on the day.
Yeah, that is literally it. That's literally it. We've got a tournament coming up in GS tournament, Rebirth Trios, Custom, and Rebirth Duos, which will be interesting. I've never actually competed in a GS tournament. I'm not very when it comes to like Rebirth, I might compete at some point, but I don't think I'm good enough to compete in Rebirth. Like there's some really serious demons in the GS like channel for Rebirth and Resurgence. Like there's some really serious demons, and I just don't think I'll ever be able to compete against a lot of them. So I've never actually competed. Have you competed yourself in any of them?
See, that's the I've played in quite a few. Like I done I've won one. So
Okay.
it was 1v1v1v1. So you go into a 4-man. You each get to host a game, and then once you winner of the most kills on that, then went through into like a grand final, and I went against one of the originals in Pappy,
Okay.
and I beat him. So I actually got, I think I took home about $60-$70 in that.
It's all right for a tournament.
And I entered with five.
Yeah, that's all right, isn't it?
So like in
Bad.
terms of in terms of like monetary value, it's very good. But also like when you said you don't feel like you compete because there's demons, there's levels. So you have got master, and you do have grandmaster, and then you have elite. So depending on your ranked level and depending on your KD,
Okay.
it is mapped out to be as fair as possible. So you are going to go against people similar skills to you. So anyone that's wanting to join on that, I would really say to them like you should join. You're not going to be like outgunned because there's people in there that have got like a 4 KD.
Yeah.
It's genuinely going to be like a mixed bag, and you will play against people similar to your level. And everyone's quite happy and vibey in there in the chat as well. So like I believe Discord's been running now since July 1st, I want to say 2023. So it's been running for like nearly a year.
Yeah,
in that
yeah,
year,
soon.
like Lelos created it, like, and in it, I think I joined in August. I'm proud to say I'm one of the longest servers in there. But from that, it's grown strength to strength, and now we have over 1,000 members, and it just keeps growing.
I think to be exact, there is, let's have a look quickly. There is 1,320 something or 50 something, which is crazy.
That's just crazy in itself. Like it's less than a year.
1,355, insane.
Yeah, we're already at that level. So it's only a matter of time before we start getting to the next band in. We start doing more bits. Like the tournaments come. Like I believe one of the tournaments I went in was a rollover. I can't remember the actual word, switcheroo.
Okay.
And it actually got over $600.
That's good, man. That's really
People
good.
just kept putting in and kept re-rolling the teams, and they were like, "Nah, that team's too good. We're going to re-roll that," and it kept going. It went over 600.
Yeah.
So to have that sort of level of a Discord where everyone can play with everyone. There's always people looking to play with people.
Yeah, it's true.
Like whether it be Warzone, whether it be nuke runs, whether it be Rebirth or ranked Warzone or multiplayer, like you name it, it's in there. Like
Yeah.
it's a good community to be part of. And like me personally, gone through some times in there. Like in my life recently, and people in the Discord have actually understood, helped out, asked me if I'm okay, if I needed to talk and stuff. So from a mental health point of view, it's quite good to be in that Discord, because there are people that do want to help, and are caring in there. So I would always vouch for it. It's definitely worth looking into.
Yeah, nice. A good community. It's a very good community. Can't lie. They're a very good community. But yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a ride. I can't lie. It's been good.
Yeah, it's something that I've always been involved in quite a lot of Discords, like since since PC.
Yeah.
Because I did have PC. I did begrudgingly get rid of it because I was spending a lot more time on it than I should have done.
Yeah.
So I went back to PlayStation, and now I'm Discord's on PlayStation. So it's a win-win situation for me.
Yeah, of course.
But I do think that what Lelos has got going is quite good, and it is worth a look at, definitely.
100%. 100%. You should definitely check out the Team GS Discord. But yeah, it's been good. But yeah, I'd say, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Definitely check out the Team GS Discord. There will be links to it below. And yeah, I'd say just
stay tuned. The
Stay
podcast
tuned.
is going to carry on, and we'll probably be maybe a week or two, and then we'll do probably a roundup. We might even be able to announce Div 8 being the champs, which would be nice. And then happy to be part of it.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you guys later.
Take care.